type of stuff's gonna be like.
It might have oxygen in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna fall true up line whenever he's
On the ain't you open up,
Alright, here we go.
Stand by for 285 Live.
Brodies and brodettes, as
Yo.
my brother like to say, and bro migos. Welcome back to another episode of Big Two.
A5.
Bit loud.
Yes, sir. And
The voice is back. He's back.
you know,
Black Jesus.
Jeffrey Higgins, you're back.
It was Jeffrey.
You're back with us.
we got
Yeah, bro, I'm back with y'all, boy, man. I'm feeling good, y'all. I'm hoping y'all feeling good, man. Look, it's a great day to record and get some new content and just be great, y'all.
Yes, sir.
So how is everybody feeling? I would say that I'm going to go from this side of the table to that side of the table, but I don't know who is sitting on each side.
Well, Sir Garrett's in the middle.
Look at each other and know which person gonna go first. But how's everybody feeling? How's everybody?
Yeah, I'll go first for you. Again, it's your boy Maddogg, 2 D's, 2 G's. Just came off a great episode with Jigga for week 3.
Absolutely.
Episode 3.
we ain't changed clothes.
Yeah,
Still ain't changed clothes.
we don't change clothes. But it's been a great week. Going to work, doing my thing.
Yeah.
Trying to stay positive, like I said in the last time. Just living, man. It's been a good life. Just came from Miami.
The 305.
Okay.
Big money.
So, Sir Garrett.
Man, everything. Hey, look, he's trying to slide away with the big money title. Oh, man. But no, everything's been everything, man. Everything's slow motion. Everything's slow motion is good motion, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just ready to chill. Everything is on the up and up, man. I can't be happier with my boys again with the squad. So, shoot, we here.
So
Yeah.
Big Bay.
I'm just
Big Bay Rico, what's going on, man?
I'm just glad to be alive. You know what I'm saying? All praises to the Most High. I think I'm just glad to be here with y'all. Vibing and connecting with 285 Live.
The community.
The community. You know what I'm saying? Worldwide, international.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Konnichiwa, day, man.
Yeah.
Konnichiwa. What's the other one?
Konnichiwa, shawty.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Bonjour. What are they speaking Brussels? We gotta learn that because everybody watching from Belgium. I gotta.
Yeah, shout out to our fans in Belgium, man. Our listeners in Belgium.
We've been shouting y'all out in every episode.
Every episode, because it's just so cool to know that we go beyond, the circle. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and the voice in the sky, Jeffrey Higgins, Doctor
Yeah.
Esquire. How are you doing?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that everybody's doing well. Everybody was having a great week so far. The week's been good so far. And to everybody that's watching, we hope that you guys are having a good week so far too.
Yeah.
Stress-free, peaceful, all that good stuff. No money. There's probably no money. There's no problem.
They say no money.
you said nobody.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's inflation.
So basically today's episode.
Wait, Jeffrey. Wait, Jeffrey. Hold on. Shout out to Voo because we finally got it back. We didn't shout it out. We didn't shout it out episode 3, but shout out to Voo. We got the hookah back. Tobacco free because we care about our lungs.
Yeah.
But go
You
ahead.
doing that crazy out here? Just tobacco free.
Go ahead. We had to shout that out one time.
I'm sorry, you said you care about your lungs, bro.
It's tobacco free.
That's good. Oh, that's good. All right, so y'all look. So today for this episode, we will be talking about a few things
2 things.
based off of learning. So just so I can get everybody's background when it comes to learning and stuff like that. What kind of learner do you think you were growing up?
Oh man.
School, everyday life, anything like that.
I've learned I am an auditory learner. I'm an auditory learner and I'm visual. I'm a combination of those two. Once I got into my work, of course, then I kind of slid into the hands-on type of thing. But primarily, if we're talking about pure education, audio and visual, like I have to have something in my ear. Like I have to have some level of music or my lecture in my ear, and then I will rewrite it down and see it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll dive into it more, but those are my main two.
Okay. All right.
Big Bay.
Next person, please.
Next person.
Me growing up, I didn't learn until the later stages of my life.
You didn't learn into the later
No,
stages?
I don't even know how I don't even know how I graduated. I don't even know how I graduated high school. You know what I'm saying? The wisdom and knowledge I have now, I mean, I give it to the Most High and the Holy Spirit. But I would say I learned from experience. So mine is not technically on the list.
I mean, that's kind of hands-on, like experience. You're doing it, so that's
Yeah,
hands-on.
yeah, hands on.
Yeah.
So just situations, just learning from them, and growing from them.
Okay. I like that.
For me, I would say I'm hands-on too. I'm a programmer by trade, so for everything I do, I need to be in it. I need to be actively doing it before I can understand it. Like I need to fail a couple times before I succeed. I'm one who I preach to people. I'm like I'm one person who likes to fail early and succeed, in a big way. Because if I don't touch it, I can't grasp it. Like with programming, you have to read a lot of manuals. You have to read a lot of code. You have to read a lot of different applications that you have to use. So when I'm reading stuff, it just goes in, one eye out the other eye. I know it's in like one ear out the other ear.
It tripped me out.
But when you're reading it, it's like I look at it and I'm just like, it's hard for me to pay attention. And I don't think I have ADD or ADHD or anything. I've never been diagnosed with that. But I've learned when I was in school, I just couldn't grasp stuff. Even when I'm reading, if it's like it has to be like I take it and I'm in the play or something like that.
Yeah.
Like if I read the Odyssey or something like that, I have to be one of the characters and I have to read that part specifically, and I'll understand what's going on from there. What about you, Jeffrey Higgins?
Well, for me, I'm a visual / hands-on learner. I have to. Well, first of all, I got to be here first. You know what I'm saying? That's when I was in school. Like I be there, but I won't be there. Then I get kicked out. It's not about me. But yeah, I'm a visual / hands-on learner. I like to really get down and dirty and really grind and try to understand the concept in which I'm trying to grasp.
Yeah.
But when we talk about learning and things like that, you might be thinking about automatically learning school, the English, the subjects for science, social studies.
Half of us wasn't even
think
there.
about all that. What are some of the things that you wish that they would have taught you in school, or that you would have learned in school that you probably later on in life was like, dang, I didn't know nothing about that in school?
We want to start with that one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with that one, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
You gonna start?
Oh.
We gotta be here to understand.
One thing that I wish that I would have learned in school was really more about, because I like social studies, so really more about like the real history. It ain't gonna get too deep to that, but
Yeah.
I really would have wished that they would have told the history how it actually happened and didn't leave out bits and pieces, because those bits and pieces are very important.
Absolutely.
So, that's one thing that I wish that they would have taught us more. I would have liked to learn about more biology, but like I said, I keep that in class every day. One of my partners in crime is on this show. He could attest. It was his fault that I got in trouble.
No accountability.
But yeah, anybody else? What is something that you wish they would have learned, or that you would have learned more about in school?
Really, I always see this come up in people's Facebooks. So this isn't really me per se, because I feel like I got everything I needed out of primary school or whatever you want to call it. But I see people talk about taxes, more about the economy, more about things that you can translate on living. Because in high school we're taught a general education sense. You know, how to speak English, how to do math, and some things that we learn in math we may not even apply to our everyday life. Like, when am I ever going to use calculus unless I'm a data engineer or something like that? So I would say there could be more of a focus on more modern skills and more modern lessons that would get people, even if it's just finances, like a simple finance class, finance 101, 102, advanced AP, whatever finance. And that would help people more when they get out into the real world. But as a caveat to that, I don't believe anybody would actually learn because people skip school. Yeah. And it didn't even matter the subject.
Whoa, skip school.
Yeah, they skip school. Even, because we had economics in school. We had finance classes in school. Yeah. But those weren't the classes that were demanded of people. Like, when test time came, when the Georgia graduation test came, they didn't put those type of questions on.
Those probably the most important ones.
Yeah.
Economics and all that. Yeah.
Instead, they had on their test, like, what shape is a refrigerator or what shape is a basketball. People still failed, don't know how. But
it's crazy because I actually had there was an economics portion on my test.
For real? Oh.
Yeah, when I was in Henry County, there was.
Oh, Henry County, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Word life.
So one thing I would say for myself, for me, I would kind of get more specific on how to, in terms of finances, but savings. Because people don't understand a paycheck per se. It's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be making let's say a net worth. Like, people don't know the net versus the gross. Right, on their paycheck. So it's like, oh, well, my job said I'm supposed to be making $2,000 every check. Like, all right, cool. But did you account for the pre-tax, the post-tax, your benefits, the county taxes, your federal taxes? Man, there's a lot that goes into it. And all of a sudden, you only got $1,300, and you're trying to figure out where in the world that money's going.
It's always crazy because like the first time you get a job, you feel like you get robbed or you ain't getting paid enough.
Right.
You're like, damn.
Yeah, so that type of stuff is real because we get out here and think we about to ball out, but it's like you're not understanding you're investing in your immediate and long-term life. So if we had that going, then it would have been perfectly fine. Like, and kind of going in its own avenue, how to trade stocks. People don't know that part unless they get a DM on IG talk about some turn your 500 to 15. So it's like, don't trust them. No, don't ever trust them. And the last thing I would say is, I wish that home ec was pushed a lot more for not just students, but specifically for men, for the young men, because it's like there's a stereotype behind that. That people don't like. People were kind of like hiding from it. Like, all they're gonna do is make me knit and bake cakes. It's like it's bigger than that. Like, I've seen kids from like Tucker High School, from Lakeside, from Druid Hills and stuff. They had their own cooking competition, and that propelled them to go to culinary schools, which made them great chefs. Even if they didn't go that route, they could still cook and suffice for themselves. So it's like, man, if I can push for my son, if I ever have one, to go ahead and doggone take that class, take the class. You can lift weights later. Take the class, because the moment, but like the moment that you get out of my house, you're going to have to figure out how in the world to doggone suffice.
For sure.
Yeah.
Big Bay, thoughts? Anything that you would
not
like
to cut too deep. I agree with what brother Jeffrey Higgins was saying. With history, of course, they don't teach you the full amount.
Don't give you everything,
Yeah, and it's bound to repeat itself if you don't know the whole thing.
Yeah. Correct.
And I agree with all what you said, especially home ec. I mean, there's a lot of things that the school system, they used to do, but they don't go into, as an adult, there's a lot of things you need to know about, People don't even know how to change diapers anymore.
That's real.
Or people don't even know basics of CPR. People don't know basics of stopping a wound from bleeding.
Not to cut you off on that first one, changing the diaper. You think that should be taught in school, or should that be taught at home?
You got a lot of teenagers becoming parents.
I think in school
But
they should definitely.
School, they should like have a.
Yeah, they used to have a thing where you walk around with a baby stuff that because you're actually gonna. They prepared you for that. Yeah, they prepared you for cooking. They prepared you for. They prepared the young men and women with like workshop, big building, fixing up on things, cars, changing tires, changing oil, simple stuff. I believe they wanted to make us though so dependent on their system to fit in their matrix. You graduate school, you go to college, everything will be all good, but they don't tell you about the taxes, the just things you need to survive. And the more dependent you become on yourself, the less you need, and the more you know how to work the system. Yeah, you don't have to be so dependent on you. But they don't want that, so they took a lot of those things away. They got any way they can make money off you. That's the thing with cooking. If you don't know how to cook, you're gonna eat out all the time. Yeah, cars, you don't know how to at least change a tire. You're gonna take your tire to get changed all the time. Workshop, if you don't even know how to just. If your rail fall down in your house, you could just at least put a nail back in it. People don't know how to do that, so they call the maintenance man. Just simple stuff, unplunging your toilet. They don't teach us basic skills, which I feel like they should teach us after the 10th grade, And you could kind of steer into what you want to become in life. Because 11th and 12th grade, I say 11th grade, you probably reach your max capacity of what you learned in high school. 12th grade, you kind of like really fool around, don't even show up to school. Yeah. So those classes should be life lesson classes on credit, on taxes. Yeah. But instead, they make you learn the hard way with insurance and all that other crap, when they can teach those things.
Absolutely.
That's true. So, but I would say there should be some things that you need to learn at home, and rather because a teacher's job is already overloaded based off of what they have to teach. Some things like changing a diaper. I mean, you could probably go to a course and do like a quick little thing, but
they have the delegate to parenthood classes.
Right. But there are some levels to it. I feel like a lot of that stuff should come from the home too, because you can't teach by the book for some of those things. If you teach by the book, you're like, okay, different cultures have different ways of doing everything.
Correct.
So it should be. What are your thoughts on that? Should there be like more accountability at home, or do you think that should fall on the teachers and the?
I'm gonna let Big Bang answer that first.
See, I don't want to. I'm gonna let you go in a second. So I don't want to cut too deep because here's the thing. In today's society, there's not really a home, full home.
You beat me to it.
And the same government that set up the school system, they were supposed to take that place in the home because they sent women to work. And those are usually who instill the morals and values and the basic things. But now women have to work, with a man or without a man, and they can't teach them the basic skills that they need to succeed in life. So they expect the school to do it, which the school was supposed to do since they coming in, saying, okay, we're going to do this for the children, but they just didn't do those things. But go ahead,
Jeffrey.
Dr. Jeffrey.
First of all, everything all of you guys said was great. But really, honestly, like I feel like they need to, especially in the school, because you have a lot of things that everybody is learning at home, but it might not be what they need to be learning. So then when you go to school or whatever, knowledge that you're not getting at home should be taught to you. But I also understand that at the same time, they're not gonna just know what you learn and what you don't know from home and stuff like that. But when it comes to the basic things like cooking, cleaning, yes, development of parenthood, because Vegas, kind of big popping Vegas. Vegas are everywhere.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, and you can have kids that are really, really is free, but at a really, really young age, and but then again, when it comes to parent, like that part of it, it's like what age do you start doing that?
Yeah,
true.
There's so many things that you have to put into perspective.
Yeah, how do you design an appropriate, concept of that?
And that's a really delicate thing because if you start introducing certain things, then curiosity sets in. And when curiosity sets in, then that's when, if it's not properly managed and educated, mistakes happen. Not necessarily mistakes, because babies are mistakes and things like that, but it's like things happen steadily too soon.
Yeah.
The timing, yeah.
Yeah, and the next thing you know, you got to grow up really fast. So it's like, I agree with you on that part. You have to. There are certain terminologies and certain information that you have to put forth. So it's like you need to do trades. Like some people want to be entrepreneurs. So it's just a matter of convenience at that point and having the resources to go ahead and expound upon that. All right, we already recording?
And basic skills.
Basic skills. That's it. I mean, that's it. Basic skills at the end of the day.
We're good.
All right. So
tying a shoe.
people use Velcro. Dr. Higgins, before we, well, actually, I'll just go ahead from right here. I guess you can edit it. But so I was explaining how everybody, well, we were talking about how everybody learns and things like that, the classes that we had, whatever. But I was also explaining to the viewers how each topic is brought up because it's important to us, or it resonated with us collectively, or something just stayed upon our hearts to the point where we felt like it had to be discussed. And I was explaining how this is something that you really want to bring up because it was on your mind. So what was your thought process for this topic being the topic for us today?
The reason that this was one of the topics that I did think about for us to do was because I know that for me, I know everybody's upbringing and things, especially when it comes to school and just everything about it in general is different. But for me, I was diagnosed with ADHD at a very young age. I was in like the second grade, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Diagnosed me with ADHD, and I had to take all these pills and all this medication that they would give me because, me being a normal child, kids are going to be running around. Kids are going to, they can't sit down for real. Just being a normal kid, but, they viewed it as me being I wouldn't say a menace to society, but a menace to society. But I really just wanted to dig deep and really, be able to understand you guys so that, say that there's a project that we have to work on, we're in this realm. We have to work together, but I can't come to. I might not be able to go to Big Bay Rico the same way that I go to Maddogg or Sarah Garrett and teach them the same things the same way.
Right.
Or they can't just come to me after Big Bay can't come to me and teach me the same way he taught. So because it's different.
Yeah.
So, and it's all about understanding your personnel and the people that you have around you. So that's really that was my reasoning as to why I chose that topic.
That's what's up, man. And I'm glad you brought it up because it's a very stimulating conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So with that in mind, what were some challenges that everyone has kind of had that made them remix their thought process? So for me, I can't sit here and, how can I put it? If it's something new, mm-hmm. I need reps, right? Mm-hmm. I can't just have somebody tell me one time, right? But okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this here, and then we're going to go ahead and knock it out this way. And the next thing you know, we're executing, and I'm like, I don't even know my role. Yeah. Some people are just genius like that. They hear it one time or they see it one time, and they're down packed. I have to work hard for mine. That's why I take so much pride in the effort that in the end result that I'm able to get. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody has a challenge like that, or what made you say hey, I need to do something about this.
I would say when going through high school and all that stuff, I didn't feel challenged at all. Not to say, I'm a genius, but there's a method to what I'm about to say. I literally slept through most of my classes I didn't put any type of extra effort into learning the material. I could just
I got you now.
I could just like wake up and then take the test, get a passing grade, an A or whatever, and I was out. But that turned to a negative when I went, later on in life, when I stopped being able to do that. Now it's hard for me to even try to study. Like I don't know how to study properly. Like you see people grinding it out at 2 a.m, writing everything down. I have the hardest time doing that. Like I have the hardest time learning how to learn again.
Yeah.
So what I've learned that I had to do is I had to be more focused. Like you have to like kind of turn that that switch on in your brain and say, hey, pay attention.
Yeah.
I had to tell myself like I had to be more auditory, and more direct to myself, saying, hey, you need to learn this.
Yeah.
I've been some of my classes I'm like I'll look at material and I'm like, why do I need this? And then I'm just like, okay, but you may not need it right now. You may not ever need it. Yeah. But this is a challenge.
Yeah.
Do you want to be consumed by this challenge and fail, or do you want to take pride and actually put forth some type of effort to go beyond it? And it's been it's always part of growing up is learning how you can learn again. Yeah. You can't just stick to the same methodology that you used when you were 13. It's not going to work that way. It may work that way, but most people who make it to the top adapt new things. They learn from different people and they try different things. You can't just stick to the same roads. You'll eventually get lost on your way.
Brother Jeffrey, Reverend Deacon, Pastor.
Well, first off, let me just go ahead and say once again, you guys are doing a great job.
Thanks. Thanks, teacher.
You're welcome. But for me, the moment that I figured out that I had to kind of get it all together, as far as like learning, was when I wasn't there to learn.
Yeah.
Keep bringing that up because there's a lot of people that have the chance and the resources and everything that they need to learn, just not there.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. So then it wasn't until like I tried to go to college that I was like, this is not gonna work. But it's not. The only reason it didn't work was because I didn't have a good study habit.
Yeah.
Some people don't have to study at all, and to y'all, kudos to y'all. I have to study.
Yeah.
Like, I got to study. I got to keep going over and over and over again because I want to, grasp the concept or learn something new or whatever the case may be. But I knew that at some point, because it didn't even have to do with school. For me, it was just like an everyday life thing. When you wake up in the morning, you go through your morning routine, you do what you got to do throughout the day. But when you think about learning this stuff, you also have to put it into perspective time management. You have to put into perspective, like, what it is that it's just so many things.
Yeah.
So, but for me, it was most definitely when I wasn't in class and I had to go back to class, relearn everything that Big Bay Rico learned 3 weeks ago, but I wasn't in class for 3 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's real though.
Yeah.
I was there physically, but like mentally and spiritually, I was off in another world.
Yeah.
So I had similar origin stories to Brother Jeffrey. I never fit into the conventional way of learning, like the system. Maybe because you can say I didn't apply myself, because all throughout school I was pretty much a C student until I actually applied myself.
C's
like
degrees.
Other than math, I could never get math, but I probably didn't even apply myself to that. But no, math's still not my thing. But reading comprehension, social studies, science, every year they'd be like, oh, Archie's going to get held back. And they were going to hold me back, but they could never hold me back because I always aced the CRCT or whatever in the exam test. And I would study a little bit. I ain't going to say it just came to me like that. I would study a little bit, but most of the times I would sleep in class. I didn't feel like it was true knowledge that I was learning. I always had a hunger for like, this ain't really going to benefit me in any kind of way. And they always like, oh, he needs to take medicine. I do have a short attention span, honestly. I'm glad my mom didn't. Because I think that's terrible that the doctor forces that on children. When you got to let children be children. Like, everybody's gonna run around, jump. That doesn't mean that they can't learn. Everybody has different learning styles. Not everybody's good at test taking. Yeah. But somebody can do the job. And like in my career field, there's people that ace the lieutenants and officers test. But when it's come down to really execute the orders, the people that can't even pass the test, they step up. And the other people are like, I know, what to do in this protocol and this and that and that. Yeah. Like, they got it all written down. But when it's come to act, that those people are different. And so it's like, you just gotta, everybody has a different learning style. And the average billionaire doesn't even have a college degree. And he's like 30 or 40 years old, he or she. So they figured out ways to think outside the box. That's the thing. The school system teaches you to think inside the box. Your education and your intellect only goes by this score sheet. Yeah. But some people are outside of that. And me, I always felt like I was outside of that. I was never just school smart, until I wanted to be. I could apply myself better, but it didn't. I feel like if I had to go back and do the same thing, I'd probably do it again.
So what it sounds like for all three of y'all, respectfully, is that the information that was giving or the classes that you were participating in weren't as engaging.
I can't even say that.
Well,
I can't say that either.
But what it sounds like, because what I'm saying is you were talking about how the information wasn't necessarily, both you and Jeffrey Higgins were saying that the information I was given wasn't necessarily the real information. Therefore, it's like, why would I even pay attention?
Yeah, it's like it was like sugar coated. It's a little truth, but it ain't the whole truth.
Because y'all ended up doing y'all's own research on this stuff later on, which made you so more passionate about said subject.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like when you're learning or listening to whatever it is that your teacher is spewing out of their mouth.
That's real.
Like it's like we just said, it's not always the truth. And if it's the truth, it's the piece of the truth that they want you to learn to make themselves or the others look good. Yeah. So then we don't hear anything about our truth. Like there are so many things that I didn't know that happened in between time that by the time I even realized it, something else around me was happening that was so similar to that, to the point where I didn't even know how to react to it until like later on. So when we think about things like, and this is kind of, when you think about things like George Floyd and stuff like that, like that's not the first time, nor will it sadly, we're being honest with ourselves, nor will it be the last time that something like that happened. So it's like when we play, like certain things that we learn to get you ready for certain things that are about to happen. We have to be ready for that.
Yeah.
That's true. So what would you say for yourself then, Maddogg? And it sounded like you had a counter for.
Like I was saying, I didn't think that it was uninteresting because I liked a lot of the stuff that I was learning. I didn't care to listen. I just cared to do. Like I just wanted to take the test. I felt like I could pass. That was my biggest issue. Yeah, it was literally like, huh?
That's a good mindset to have.
I mean, kind of, but it backfires when you take the test and it's just completely foreign to you, or it's completely like there's no pattern to it. Like I used to see patterns in everything.
Like structure, basically.
Yeah. So it was like maybe we take a math test, and by like the second question, I can kind of figure out where that test was going, like what we were talking about, what patterns. Because it was patterns. But when you learn something completely foreign, like you're learning a different language or something like that, sometimes there's no pattern to find, and you gotta go back to the basics of studying or listening to somebody. And I find it super hard for myself to even now, like to be on a call, listening to my instructors, telling me like, hey, this is what y'all need to learn. It's just, it's hard for me to just want to focus. And again, I don't know if I have. I don't know if I.
Hey,
You good, bro?
you good, bro?
You good, Jeffrey?
Oh yeah, I was shut off the chair.
like I was saying, I don't know if it was like a focus issue because I've never been diagnosed with it, but I was so used to just being able to wake up and take the test and pass it and then go back to sleep.
Yeah.
That now I'm stuck. Like I don't know how to study, and I do think this is a great topic to even delve into this.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't think the material was uninteresting.
I think that the way that the material was brought to you wasn't in it. But for me, like I'd say that if it's not brought to me in the creative, like from a creative standpoint, I'm not going to learn it. I'm sure not going to want to listen to it.
Yeah.
So if it's boring, I'm not. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's not.
Nah, I got you.
I just think it was just like you said, they didn't really go into the curriculum enough. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know the teachers had a lot to cover, and I'm not going to undermine them. They have a lot to cover in a small amount of time. It's like, but just like RDC World said, when they learned about, for example, Black History. Not to go too deep in that, but they was like, Rosa Parks sat on the bus, stood up on the bus. Martin Luther King had a dream. That's the end.
Right.
He's like, all right, did everybody get that? Hold on, wait on that slide. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, enough to pass the test. Or even biology, biomes, genomes,
Right.
all kind of stuff, all kind of knowns.
Mitochondria.
This is what it is, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it
What's
ain't,
the difference between a plant and a human? I was like,
yeah.
Right.
So it's like,
the swiggle, it go the other way.
I mean, it depends if you got a good teacher that. I like those teachers that went off top. They went so deep because I'm always one of them people that cut deep. And did you know the cell replenishes? I'm like one of them people like, damn, they ain't even on the test. That's when they got my ears. What?
Right. Like that can turn to that and turn to that. Like
so I would get stuff like that. But then like the basic stuff, I'm like, it serves no significance to me. Now I'm not gonna say I was a genius. I did have to study, just like I had to get in and lock in a room. But once I got it, I got it.
Yeah.
But it would take me some time. I had to read pages. All right. Okay.
I didn't got around to it. Like I used to procrastinate so much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too.
I didn't procrastinate until college, really.
Hey, but pressure makes diamonds, baby.
Yeah.
Pressure makes diamonds.
College was so distracting in like all regards, where I just.
Cause bro, the option to procrastinate was so heavily influenced at that time because you didn't have to show up to class the majority of your classes. Like I've had classmates that I've never actually seen going to the class unless it was test time, and they were making A's. Like those they were unreal. I ain't gonna front. Yeah, but we're I keep pointing like he's right there.
He is
but
right there.
That's what
It's like the beep 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 beep.
But
BMO.
But that's something, right. But that's something that I kind of want to dive into as well. Not to take over your topic, Jeffrey, but because you go ahead and
see your hand.
No, I know. See, that's why I'm so used to him being right here, bro. Like, but I don't want to take over your topic. You go ahead and do you. But that's something I really want to dive into as well, man. But you setting the pace right now, bro. You're doing a great job of that, by the way.
Very, very great job.
I'm glad that you brought that up because it's so many things that you could tie into this one topic. Like, so it's good. As you learn, as you grow, as you begin to really blossom into the person that you may want to be or may not want to be. No.
I'm fighting myself.
Some of the things that you did learn in school, or not even really just in school, but just in life that you feel like could help somebody later on down the road or as they're learning as well.
Oh, that's easy.
Man, one thing that I learned is
You got 5 things?
5 things.
Yeah, 5 from school and 5 that you could take.
That's a
with
lot.
life.
I'm not about to do 5. But I want to do one big thing, so I guess that'd be 5.
You don't have to be 5. You can be like 2, 3. You don't have to be 3.
There are endless resources out there, man. Like, and there's so many people willing to teach you.
Yeah.
People love, not to say people love to talk like as a bad thing, but people love to impart knowledge. And it's easy to find somebody to be, your teacher. It's easy to find somebody to be your coach because people are willing to give that knowledge away. Mm-hmm. You just have to be willing to receive it.
Yeah.
I go on YouTube all the time now. Like I barely watch TV anymore. I'm looking at different ways I can improve myself in my own career as a software engineer. Learning different programming languages, learning different applications. So I might subscribe to like certain people, and I'm just appreciative that we have that resource nowadays. We didn't necessarily have that growing up.
Yeah.
Like just an endless amount of resources just at our fingertips, on our phones. So that's one big thing that I'm just taking away from this world that we live in now is if I want it, I can find it. Mm-hmm. That's a luxury that we have and that we need to use more. We need to be able to stop making excuses for people didn't teach us this in high school, people didn't teach us this in middle school, and be able to say, let me YouTube how to change a tire, because they will show you.
Or a light bulb.
Or tie your shoe. Some people don't know how to tie their shoes. I'm not gonna rule it out. But it's a lot. We have a lot of resources out there, and I'm again just one thing that I'm very appreciative of, just having that luxury.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay on the topic too long.
No, it's cool, man. I would say kind of going along the lines of what you're talking about, but ended in something different. If you really want to work for it, make time for it. Right. So for me, it was time management. Yeah. Given the lifestyle that I've had when it came to daily, seasonal athletics, even from a very young age, I had to learn school, sport balance. Yeah. And my parents had me in something every season, whether it be football, baseball, basketball, soccer. Like I was always in something. But and even though I did want to play my sports, at the end of the day, I still had homework, tests, projects to deal with, papers that I had to type up, and my sports was my reward for busting my tail in school. And so if I was slacking in something, I wasn't gonna be able to participate. And I loved playing in games, so I had to. Again, I'm talking about 5, 6, 7 years old. I had to find a way, had to sacrifice, had to put forth, put behind. Like I had to do all that stuff to the point where once I got to even college and even now in adulthood, the sports aren't necessarily as frequent as they were when I was growing up. Yeah, but like time management is just so much easier for me now because I was always constantly moving and shaking in something to where it's like, oh, well, I can just go ahead and knock this out at this time. I really don't do nothing in between here and here. Let me go ahead, like writing stuff down, like physically writing down my day and seeing the gaps in between there. So then once I found that, kind of rewinding back to college, midterms and finals is like, shoot, well, my finals at 8, I know I only need 5 hours of sleep. Once I get my 5 hours, I'm up. Get my food.
Kobe.
You know what I'm saying? Get my music. That type of thing. Yeah. So that was me, and I had to learn how to slow my heart rate down. Because I listen to music when I study, and I want them, like, again, the classical music that I always bring up. I need something in the background that will calm my mind, calm my heart rate down so that I can truly focus.
Mama, put on the Bach. Put on this.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things where it was so soothing to me where I could actually focus in and dive into the words that are in front of me. Yeah. And whenever I said the phrase, that makes sense, it locked in. Yeah. Regardless of if I've read it a million times or it's in doggone Spanish or whatever. Like, if I could slow down and manage my time, dangerous.
Said Beethoven, not Zaytoven. Brother Jeffrey, what did you have things that you learned?
Well, one pretty important thing for me that I learned is that it starts with your mental. When it comes to anything that you do that you're trying to learn, it starts with your mental, because if you come into something, and you're in a space where you're not vulnerable enough to learn, but you also have to be smart enough to know that, okay, I need to go back and look up this information myself, because there might be something that I was not taught that I think I should know, or this information that you could get could just be wrong.
Yeah.
So, it's like I said, it's a mental thing. You gotta tell yourself that you can do it, that you want to learn, and I'm glad that Brad brought up that the whole music thing, because it's a lot of things that people need just to get in that headspace to be heart rate. But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, but I don't do classical music. I do more like bow.
Bow.
Like trap music and stuff like that. Like, I can't focus on that. I can't focus like that because I get hyped up when I hear that stuff, and I'm gonna read the same sentence for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm very stereotypical on that. I listen to lo-fi hip hop, little lo-fi girl. That's my.
I need probably peace and quiet. Probably my own.
Just dead silence.
Probably dead silence.
Ooh, I could not do that.
Yeah, probably dead silence. Take a little break.
I get distracted.
Yeah, I'll be in
honestly.
my own thoughts.
For me, I would say just like agreeing with Jeffrey Higgins. Learning is vulnerability, and also teaching is vulnerability. Yeah. I learned from. I believe my 7th grade teacher, Mr.
That's real.
Mr. Williams.
I just got that. That's
he
real.
said, I said, how you know so much? He said, I thank you. I was like, I feel like you know it. He said, I don't know. He said, I learn from you guys every day. I learn new ways to teach you. Yeah. Teaching is a vulnerable thing as well as learning. He said, because I still learn from you. You never stop learning from somebody older than you, younger than you. For a 4-year-old, when we get older, we're gonna be like, how we work this, nephew, son, So it's like. Yeah, learning is a vulnerable thing. You just got to be willing to be vulnerable and know, like, hey, I don't have it all figured out yet. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I ask God to guide me on my steps, in learning and seeing what the truth is. And so, yeah, you can learn from anyone. All walks of life, all creeds, all creeds, all ages. You don't ever count anybody out all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
A 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 10-year-old.
Educated, uneducated.
Educated or uneducated. Let me show you something real quick, I just at least have ears to listen. I mean, I learned what my teacher used to always say. He used to be like, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I forget, I got a big mouth. I got big teeth to go in these big mouths, so I got to let some air out, air in with these big old teeth. But, it's vulnerability. I agree with you.
That's huge. That's real.
Never stop learning,
Never. Man. This is good stuff.
You ain't crying over there.
I was about to say, man, it's how you pull some tissue.
Who crying?
All right, last 10 minutes on this.
Oh man. What I found out, and I feel like I said it in season 1, but we are some very educated black men.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very, because of the simple fact that we just spoke for an hour on learning.
Yeah.
Learning, like
I can't spell it though. I just best child.
But it's we could have talked about anything. We could have talked about anything at this point. You just never know. We talked about one of the goals for us this year is influencing the youth.
Yeah.
You just never know who will come across this particular type of episode or this video or this one clip, because something could have been impactful in here to where we just post this one on IG. Shout out to IG page, 285 Live. Is that underscore
285 Live.
Underscore 285 Live. But all right, cool. It's at the bottom. You're gonna see it. But the moment of hearing all this stuff, a parent could have a very difficult child when it comes to learning. A student could be there could be a college student right now getting ready for their midterms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That could go ahead and take these tips from everybody, because we're all coming from different perspectives.
Yeah.
Like, it is we're all successful in our own ways because of what we've done and what we've collaborated and excommunicated and integrated. So there's a lot of
integrated.
Yeah.
I didn't want to toot my own horn, but again, scholar athlete of the year. You feel me?
Not to interrupt. My great grandmother always said, you know better, you do better. I believe wisdom, outside of the Bible, because it says that, wisdom is the greatest gift you can give to anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To know how to do this a better way, how to, it's a ruby. I mean, you could give somebody money all you want, but if they don't have the wisdom to keep building on that money or building on their skill or whatever you taught them, it's nothing.
Yeah, what's the point?
Wisdom is everything. Wisdom gives you a longer life. Wisdom just, and you learn from experience, but, people are truly destroyed from a lack of knowledge, and I would like to share wisdom and knowledge that I have, that I think God's blessed me with everyone on all aspects of life.
Absolutely.
But I got to live by it too, my health. I can't be saying, don't do this, and I got a fat belly. Don't be eating cheeseburgers. So I got me a salad, and I had a cheeseburger today, but I got me a salad in there.
Balance.
It's balance. You definitely do need balance.
I want a cheeseburger right now, though.
Taking care of your mental, all that, financial, so spiritual, all that. You got to be able to live it too, to show people. You can't just be.
You gotta live.
Yeah. But I love that for our youth, because I think they really need it. They don't really push that,
Absolutely.
For me, I like to, pay tribute to the ones who paved the way for us,
For sure.
build the roads. Not even, we always talk about Martin Luther King. We always talk about Harriet Tubman and all that. But I want to say thank you to people like my brother and my sister. Yeah. I'm the third of technically four, but on my mom's side, the ones I grew up with. My older brother, Montavious, he's 4 years older than me. And then my sister, who is 1 year older than me, is Catherine. I would sit in their classes sometimes because waiting to go home.
Yeah.
So I had the luxury of absorbing ahead of time and learning ahead of time, and I feel like that helped me, with my learning style. Sometimes I like to leap higher than where I am to learn something. And then when I go back, I'm like, kind of, I already feel like I know it. And it helps me with my confidence. It helps me with everything. So one of the biggest stories I like to tell people is when my brother, I believe he was in middle school, or maybe he was in 5th grade. But it was like after school. I learned multiplication when I was in, 1st grade by taking the little times tables, diagrams that they had while I was sitting there waiting on him to get out of school. And I sat there and I learned multiplication. Even before I knew, long addition or whatever they want to call it. I was able to do that because I had people who did it before me. So not just to say what my learning style is, I just want to appreciate those who helped me develop as well.
Absolutely.
And I hope that I can impart, like you guys were saying, impart the wisdom, everything that I've learned onto the generation that's coming after me, because they're inheriting the earth. I'm not gonna live forever. No one lives forever,
It'd be stingy to just.
It would be stingy.
Yeah.
I believe that the biggest resource, like you said, that we can give is wisdom. I plan to, and I'm saying this. By the time I turn 40, I want to open my own community center. I want to open labs that people can come in and learn and have people teach for free. Nonprofit organizations saying, hey, you guys, I need you to impart whatever you learned. If you learn how to sing, how did you get to where you are? Because people need that. People need a roadmap.
Yeah.
I know, not necessarily me, but when people were in high school, they felt lost. They didn't know who they were. They didn't know what they wanted to do. And now they're 30 and they still don't know what they want to do. And it's like if they had some type of roadmap, if they have some type of mentor to follow behind, I feel like they would end up in better situations than they're in.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are lost in that and lost in that shuffle. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's real.
I can definitely agree with that. Maybe that I figured out. Sorry, she's just short. Maybe I think I figured out why I wasn't interested in school because I pretty much lived through high school and middle school like twice because of my sister and college. My sister's almost like my second mom. I mean, she took me everywhere with her. I would sit in classes of high school, help her watch her do projects. I ain't help her with projects. I handle the glue, you know. Watch her do projects. Watch her. So the same stuff. I guess reading the Odyssey and doing that. I guess I did it before. I mean, I even was sitting in classes with her when she was at Georgia State. So I think maybe that's probably part of the reason because I probably already learned it. Little did I know that's probably why I always passed the test, but never did good in class.
Yeah.
That was just
it's
something short.
possibility.
That was probably you probably just gave me the answer to what
Stuff hits you.
I've been wondering.
You
Yeah,
know, stuff hits you. That's why you always gotta say whatever's on your mind because anybody can take something from what you're saying.
yeah, I definitely took something.
Yeah. Go ahead and close us out.
Yeah. Final thoughts. Close us out.
Yeah. First of all, it's been a great episode. We kept saying that. But to everybody that's listening, to the people that are even 75, we would like for you to know that it's never, ever, ever too late to still learn. It's never, ever, ever too late to still do whatever you need to do to prosper or anything like that. So if you want to do something, if there's something that people always want to do, I encourage you to do it. Thank you.
And with that being said, Big 2.
I'm going with 85.
Live.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We out here.